In 1970, Formula One's Constructors' Championship, first introduced just over a decade earlier, belonged to Lotus, the innovative British team that would go on to add 3 more titles by the end of that decade alone, cementing itself as one of the sport's genuine early powerhouses. Ferrari, already a champion team from earlier in the 1960s, spent much of the early 1970s quietly rebuilding, before launching a dominant run of 3 championships in 1975, 1976, and 1977, and a 4th in 1979, establishing the foundation for what would eventually become the sport's all-time record. The 1980s belonged to 2 teams trading the title back and forth almost every other year. Williams, founded in 1977, won its first championships in 1980 and 1981, while McLaren, revitalized under new leadership and engineering talent, won 4 titles across the mid to late 1980s alone, fueled by one of the most famous and fiercely competitive driver rivalries the sport has ever produced. Williams struck back in the early 1990s, then McLaren again, before Williams embarked on an extraordinary run through the rest of the decade, ultimately winning 9 championships in total, a tally the team has genuinely never added to since its last title all the way back in 1997. Then came the Michael Schumacher era. Ferrari won 6 Constructors' Championships in just 6 consecutive years, from 1999 through 2004, a level of sustained dominance the sport had truly never witnessed before, pushing Ferrari's all-time total to a record 16 championships, a mark that still stands untouched today and that no other team has come remotely close to threatening since. A brief, delightful underdog story interrupted the sport's usual order in 2009, when Braun GP, a team hastily assembled from the ashes of Honda's abandoned F1 program just months before the season even began, shocked the entire paddock by winning the championship in its one and only season of existence, before being purchased outright by Mercedes and folded into an entirely new era of the sport. Red Bull Racing dominated the early 2010s, winning 4 consecutive titles behind Sebastian Vettel's remarkable driving, before Mercedes began the single most statistically dominant run in the sport's entire history, 8 consecutive Constructors' Championships from 2014 through 2021, a record that comfortably eclipsed every dynasty that had come before it. Red Bull returned to the very top in 2022 and 2023, powered by Max Verstappen's era-defining performances behind the wheel. But the most remarkable recent story in the sport belongs to McLaren, a team with a genuinely rich history, but a painful 26-year championship drought stretching all the way back to 1998. McLaren finally broke through again in 2024, and immediately backed it up with a second consecutive title in 2025, announcing itself as the sport's newest dominant force heading into an as-yet undecided 2026 season that's still being contested as this video was made. Across more than half a century of racing, only a small handful of teams have ever truly ruled Formula One at any given time, and as McLaren's remarkable recent comeback proves better than anything else, even the longest championship droughts can eventually, unexpectedly come to an end.